our channel. And yeah, sunny Bridgetown. Finally, last 2 weeks, I don't think we have seen the sun at all. I think the last time I recorded, so about 2 weeks ago, and maybe a little bit of sun. But yeah, after that, we just had clouds and rain and yeah, miserable cold weather. Typical end of winter weather. We're coming into spring. My wife's taught me today, on Monday, spring is starting. So yeah. Okay, what are we up to this week? We want waterproof the Bog River. I want to start doing that today. Then I'm installing a UPS on my Grand Pond main pump. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that in one of my videos about the pond a while ago. The UPS, it's like a backup battery system. The problem I have for that main pump, what I mentioned before, pretty sure, is it doesn't have any problems when we have a full power outage. The problem is if we have a flicker of, let's say, a couple seconds, just a flicker of power, and then the controller gets what happens, the controller gets irritated or something, and it doesn't turn back on. It's just turned off. So I thought about doing the same what a lot of the computer geeks do, experts. They're trying to prevent their computer to lose data when they're working on it, and they have these power outages, so that they have UPS systems on. And the only reason I got to that was because in my work, I have to sometimes work as a trainer and put people through our simulator. And when I got trained on it, they made it pretty clear to me that there's a UPS system for that simulator that prevents that the system gets damaged because of little power surges or mainly power outages. So yeah, that's when I remembered, and I thought, yeah, that could be a good idea for that pump. So I won't put that on this week. It's pretty straightforward. I bought it last week, and it's basically like a box with a battery and a little computer in there that don't know what it does, to be honest. I'm not the expert, but yeah, it probably monitors the battery performance and the in and output of power. So yeah, so you basically put that in between your main power and the pump. So the main power goes onto the UPS, and then the pump goes onto it gets behind the UPS basically. So the power runs through the UPS. When the power outage happens, the battery takes over on the UPS. So, and yeah, with my pump, what I got told is it could run the pump. That battery in there can run the pump for up to 2 hours. So even if I have a longer power outage, the pump will still be running for another about 2 hours, what he said. Okay, well, let's turn you on. Okay, so here we're back at the Bog River. It's all nice and dry, and yeah, this is in my next job is now, while we have it nice and sunny, to seal it with that liquid rubber waterproof membrane, what they're called. And one thing I've done, and this is not my idea, one of my YouTube subscribers, it's Gary, I think it's Gary 625. He was very, very kind and wrote a comment in my last video and recommended to put a sealant on, like a silicone sealant, water, of course, water-based proof sealant between the concrete and the fiberglass, because the old Bog River there, the original one, that's fiberglass. So this time I'm not intending to do the fiberglassing. I want to use let's say the cheaper version of a pond sealer. It's like it's a paint, but especially made for this kind of features. I'm gonna say for ponds. Look, I've never worked with them. I heard reviews that they not the best. I wouldn't use it for a main pond like that, not with extensive experience on the material, but for a water feature like this, I think that can work. I mean, if it doesn't work, then I will. Yeah, then we have to go to the fiberglassing. But back to what Gary was recommending. He was recommending to bridge the gap between the fiberglass, that's so here or there, and the cement with but silicon sealant. So I did that yesterday, and excuse me the color. I was actually quite surprised when I opened it. And this is just because me rushing through the hardware store, not reading what the color is. I just saw marine flex sealant, what I always use for my ponds around here. Always work perfectly, but I never completely grabbed the wrong one, not the wrong one, but the wrong color. So it's nice and white, but this will not matter much because that will be all covered by the black paint. So okay, so first I have to do a few little cleaning. I'll vacuum this area to make it all dust, clean it off the dust, clean a little bit in the old Bog River, a bit odd, and then I come back to you when I paint this. We'll see how easy it is. I have never used it before, honestly. I've never used it before, and I'm keen to see how easy it is to use, and yeah, will it perform and last. Good. Come back to you in a bit. Okay, we're back, and yeah, this is the stuff I was talking about. It's called Cromlin waterproof. That's of course in the way. Pond Sealer Black. Funny thing. I don't know how it comes over on the camera or on the clip. It says black, and you would think it's really black, but it it looks more like a purple color. Even when you put it on, it's more purpley. Assuming it turns black later on. And to my surprise, because it says it's like a rubberized weather-proofing membrane, I thought it would be much thicker. But when you look at this here, it is quite liquid, and it goes more like quite a thin, like a paint on it. So yeah, that surprised me a bit. But well, we'll see how it will perform. I'll give it a good, what's it called? I'll give it a nice thick coating on it, and yeah, do 2 coats. I've got 2 of these buckets just in case I miscalculated my square meters, because when I calculated the square meters for this area, I was just on the edge. I thought it could be a bit too tight for the sealer. So yeah, I got 2 buckets, and yeah, I can give it a good cover. So that's really sealed for the future. Good. I'll put you on the stand, and I'll show you how easy it is to apply. But I will not bore you with the entire long show of it. Give me a second. Okay. I hope I'm not in the way when I do this. So yeah, I just use normal little roller. That's how you can use a roller or a brush. And yeah, give a nice good coating on it. And it's pretty easy to work with. It's not like when you see other what they call really liquid rubber membranes. They're very, very thick and almost hard to put on. This is very, very easy going on. I hope it's so easy going on and not giving any dramas in the future. I expected this to be quite a thick paint, almost like this liquid rubber material. So, but it exists. It's on the market for a long time. It's not a new thing, and pretty sure this is a Western Australian company. They have all these kind of sealers. So yeah, we'll see. I'll give this a good whirl, and then hopefully this will be a nice watertight feature when I'm finished. So it has to dry for 7 days. So the curing process is about 7 days. Okay, that's I think enough for me showing you how it applied. I'll come back to you when I finish, and yeah, we'll go from there to that UPS where I want to install. Well, we're back, and it's 2 days later. Sorry I didn't record this earlier, but we had visitors yesterday, and so I didn't think I should record while we have visitors. So yeah, the bog filter, or the Bog River, is painted. It's done, and I'm happy with the outcome. So what I did, and then I put 4 thick layers on, and I recommend 2 thick coats of this paint, but I had that much left over, and then I bought the paint. I made sure that I have enough, because in the past I always didn't buy enough. I calculated too much on the short side, so this time lately I know I'll buy a bit more. So I bought 2 buckets, but 1 bucket would have been plenty enough. With the 1 bucket I did basically almost 3 coats, and if I would have been a bit less generous, I probably would have got away with 3 coats, but I was quite generous when I was painting this, and did it nice and thick layers. And I went from the roller, I went to the brush, because I found that the roller worked to a certain degree, but it was not, the paint is sort of like a bit on the slippery side or something, and the roller would sometimes not roll, it was more slide across. So I decided when I did the second coat just to try it with a brush, and the brush works very, very, very good. No dramas there. So, and yeah, it's all nicely coated, and now it needs 7 days of curing, they say. It is probably, I would not recommend this for someone who wants to, yes, Shadow, say hello, Shadow, 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 say hello. Oops, yep, there he is, and he's talking to us too. Now, I wouldn't recommend this to make a koi pond, probably, because it has, this year is more like a rough texture. I'm pretty sure this is not because the render underneath is more, it's not super smooth. When you feel the paint, it has yeah, fine. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the rubber compound that is in there that gives this rough feel. It is a bit of a sandy side, not extreme. It's not that your koi is they would probably not hurt themselves. But it's more like a very, very fine sandpaper feel, and as soon as algae comes on, I think that will be disappearing. But I would not recommend it for a koi pond. But for any other water feature, I think I could recommend it. It's nice and easy to work with. Very, very easy. It is not hard to apply. It's almost like a normal paint. A bit thicker, but yeah, it puts itself on like a normal paint. And it is, I mean, this is not only probably 2 days in the drying. It still has a flexible feel. I'm not sure if this will be in 7 days the same, because they say you have to give it 7 days curing time before you can put water in. Next week we will see when I put the water in, and then it will be over 10 days. If it still has a flexible feel, because when you put your fingernail on, it has a bit of a soft feel to it. Yeah, but this is basically from me about this waterproofing membrane. It is a good thing for water features. If you're not an extreme koi keeper, yeah, you might be able to use it, but you need to make sure that your structure is sound, because I don't think that this paint will be enough if you have your structure, your brickwork or your concrete work, whatever you have, gets a crack. I think this paint, if the crack is big enough, it will go through this paint. Tiny cracks, no. I think that's flexible enough to withstand that, but you have to have a good structure foundation for this to do it. And if you want to risk it in a big pond, yeah, I'm not sure. For small water features or small ponds, yeah, I can see that working good. This is from me with this paint. As I said, 4 coats, thick coats, and I still have half a bucket left. So basically I only use 1.5 buckets for this feature. They say you can get 3 square meter out of 1 bucket, and that's with 2 coats. Yeah, this, when I calculated it, it was just, I think it was just under the 3 square meters. So it worked good. We'll see next week, hopefully, cross fingers. This is all nice and waterproof then, and it will not leak. I was very generous. All the corners between the fiberglass and the new brickwork got very generous coats. So we'll see. And after this, I will cover this all up so that when we get rain, we had no last 3 days, no rain at all, beautiful weather. Today was a bit on the overcast side, but otherwise we had really nice sunny weather, and that was perfect for this project. So when I go back to work tomorrow, I'll put the covers over, and then when this time I will put this on, because even the EPDM line I had put on, it kept that dry, but it of course it sagged a bit. So I'll put these covers on to make it nice sound, EPDM liner over, and then it should be all nice and watertight. And now I'll show you that UPS I installed. I just installed that this morning on the ground pond for the main pump. That was, yeah, it's very easy, just a plug and play. He's guiding us, our shadow. So yeah, these coils, they're all fine. Zoom out. And yeah, there are no dramas here, doing fine. The water quality is great. No dramas here on this pond. So let's come around here. So yeah, this is the, hang on, give me a break. Okay, so this is the UPS unit, and it's just a plug and play. You just, let me turn it on. The way I've put it in here, this is only to show you, you can see the wattage, not the wattage, the volt that goes through. So 239, 240 going in and out. The battery is 100%, and the load here, that's hard to see for you maybe. It says the load that goes through is only 15%, so I have plenty of spare capacity to put on this little unit. So normally it will sit this way so that it's nice and dry and out of sight. So yeah, it's just a plug and play. You got the main cable here, you put into your power point, and then on the back you got normal power points, two normal Australian plug power points. You put your pump, the pump I put in there. I could, if I wanted, I could put an air pump there in too and make it really foolproof. But I'll stay at the moment with this small unit. I'll stay on the safe side and just have a small one there. So, and this is only for the pump to protect it from a little power burst. Good. Yeah, this is from this UPS unit. It's just a security for this pump. Normally, every other pump I have had never had any issues with power surges. That even a couple of second power surge, they would come back on, and that's all. They don't even flinch about this. It's just this one pump, and I think that's why the manufacturer took it off the market for a while, because they could. I think that what I got told by the salesman when I bought it, that they had an issue with the controller. He couldn't tell me what the issue was, or he didn't want to tell me. But I wanted this pump and test it, and I thought it can't be that bad. So, and it is not. It's just it doesn't like little power blackouts and the mini below half a minute. Everything is a bit longer. The pump comes back on, but it doesn't like that little short burst of power outage. Okay, this is from here. I hope you enjoyed this little update about my little Bog River project. Next week I come back and we'll fill the water in and we'll have a look how it's going. It's okay. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Enjoy your hobby and stay safe out there. Bye.